We all struggle with just social anxiety and fear of judgment. We're really not alone. We're all scared of being judged by others, but we're all just focused on our own fear, which basically means we're all just scared for ourselves and we're not looking at others or judging others. We're just worried about being judged. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Alessia Sothebyberry, for those of you that don't know me. For those of you that do know me, welcome back. I'm really glad you're here. Today I'm going to be talking about a topic that I have spoken about many times because I feel really passionately about it. I believe that going out on your own and having a good experience is the most freeing, confidence building thing, and it can make you feel so independent, and I think it helps your friendships thrive and your relationships thrive. So I just want to give the tools to people who struggle to embrace going out in public alone. So what's at the core of your issue? Is it the fear of being humiliated or rejected or judged? Because that tends to be the case. Obviously there's that fear of not feeling safe, which is an entirely different thing, a different video, but I will briefly speak about it at the end. But I do think a lot of us, at the root of everything, we just don't want to be judged or laughed at or cast aside or feel left out. We just want to feel safe amongst other humans. If right now I were to tell you, you can go out and go for a walk wherever you want and you will not come across one human, you won't be seen by anybody else, how does that make you feel? Does that make you feel less fearful? If this is a yes, then that probably means you are really just fearful of being judged and rejected. And if that's the case, this video is definitely for you. I've got so many tips that I'm really excited to get into. So you might actually spend more time inside on your own than you do going out. You might actually never really go out on your own because the fear has kind of consumed you and overwhelmed you, which, by the way, I completely get, and I'm not judging you at all for that. But you don't want to establish being at home alone as your comfort zone and going outside as the fear zone. And it's very easy to fall into that habit, like I have, to be honest, by constantly staying at home and not pushing yourself to go outside and to challenge yourself and be brave. If you stay at home a lot and you don't break that pattern, you will continue to feel extremely fearful. It's kind of new territory. It's not been proven to be safe to your subconscious yet. So your subconscious will be freaking out when you do actually go outside because you haven't got any positive experience to refer back to. We need concrete examples to look back on and be like, yeah, I was safe. I had a fun time then when I was out on my own, so I can do it again. Once we have that good example, it's so much easier to motivate ourselves to leave the house. With me, since moving to a new location, I'm living somewhere else, I haven't really done that much. I haven't gone out alone that much, and I certainly feel much more resistance. When I was in London, I used to do it all the time, but I remember it was that first couple of trips going out and proving to myself that kind of helped me ease into it. And then my kind of worrying thoughts and negative thoughts kind of slowed down and slowly faded away. But they didn't fade away until I'd actually proved to myself and had concrete memories and examples of having a pleasurable time on my own. It is one of those things where you just have to be super brave and you kind of just need that push. So I'm glad you're watching this video because I'm going to try and give you that push if you're in this predicament. In the predicament that I'm in, so I kind of need you guys to push me too. Make that positive memory, be really intentional with what you're going to do and why you're going to go, so you know that you're going to be safe, because this first time or first couple of times is going to be a bit uncomfortable and you might have quite a few worrying thoughts. So make sure that you have a really nice little outing planned, like a really nice coffee shop that's just down the road. And then I think you'll find the next day you will wake up and you will feel that it's a little bit easier to convince yourself to go out alone because you've done it before and everything was okay. I think we just need to prove to ourselves that we're not going to be laughed at and that we're not going to stand out in the crowd and everyone's going to be staring at us, that we are going to be able to exist in our own little bubble just around other humans. It gets easier the more you do it, is essentially what I'm trying to say. It's easy for me to say all these positive things to you and encourage you to go out and tell you that it's going to be okay, and I can say all this stuff, but my words will only translate in this moment. But when it comes to going out, you might struggle again. But I do think it's kind of in your hands to go and make that experience, make that memory. Actions speak louder than words. Okay, so you might be going for a walk on your own and you might trip up Now, this embarrassment might persuade you to not go out again, or just the idea of tripping up in public might make you think, I just can't go out because if I'm anything but perfect, I'm just going to be uncomfortable and people are going to judge me because I have to hold up this whole new higher standard because I'm on my own. I can be silly and jokey and maybe embarrass myself when I'm with other people because I've got friends, which makes me look better. But if I'm on my own, then I'm just this lonely person that looks weird if I've tripped up. You can be silly and you can fall over and you can do all these things when you're on your own. It doesn't make you look like an idiot. You can be a fallible human when you're on your own too. So if you do trip up and you catch someone laughing at you, you can kind of laugh along with those people. We can all laugh at it together. And I actually think someone who's able to laugh at themselves comes across in such a positive light. And I think it can help you feel a part of the joke and not feel laughed at if you are able to just chuckle a little bit to yourself. It's not weird to laugh to yourself. I really don't think it is. I think it shows confidence and it makes you look and feel good. Avoid going on your phone. I know when we do something embarrassing, it's tempting to whack out your phone and go. But I actually think we should just sit in that moment and not judge ourselves and actually just bring a bit of humour to the situation. I do think that embarrassment can be such an overpowering feeling, and I completely get why you might just want to hide and go on your phone or go straight home, but a smile can really help alleviate feelings of anxiety or shame or embarrassment quite quickly. So I dare you to try it. Just try smiling when you feel uncomfortable. Smile at something, a dog passing by, a person who's walking past you. Laugh at yourself if you trip up. Try lifting those lips and see how quickly you can completely change your mood and your feeling about the situation. Fake it until you make it. Smile even if you're feeling uncomfortable and feel your body kind of relax and feel your confidence levels suddenly heighten. I do think sometimes I don't know if I agree with the saying fake it until you make it. But in this circumstance, I think it's actually really useful. Faking confidence and faking being comfortable can quite quickly, for me anyway, translate to me actually feeling comfortable and feeling confident. I don't know why. I think it's because I'll be faking it. So I'll be actually really concerned with how people are perceiving me when I'm out alone in public, and I'll be act cool, do this. And then I'll realise that no one's really that interested in what I'm doing and that I am safe. And then I will switch off and I will be reading my book suddenly. And I won't be concerned about what other people are thinking. And then, I'm confident, I'm self-assured, I'm in the moment. So try a bit of fake it until you make it. Another thing you can do if you're feeling embarrassed or if you're just generally feeling anxious and uncomfortable in the moment is rely on your breath. It's important to remember that we have such a powerful tool that we can use anytime, any day. And I've got one particular breathing technique that I find really useful that I'm going to share with you. So inhale for 5 seconds. Exhale for 6. Make sure that the exhale is longer, because this really helps to reduce anxiety and calm the body. So I'll do that. I'll count in my head. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'll gradually make it longer. So I'll inhale for 6 and I'll exhale for 7. Then inhale for 7, exhale for 8, and I'll go all the way up to 10. So inhale for 10, exhale for 11, and then I'll go back down. And I'll do this very slowly because you don't want to get out of breath, but kind of focusing softly on the numbers in your head and on how the breath feels and letting it kind of expand your belly and then rise to the top of your head. Focusing on the breath and how it feels and on the numbers just helps you take a moment away from all of that anxiety and all of those worries, and you fall into yourself and into your body and into your breathing. And it's actually really reassuring to know that the breath is always there for you. Mindful breathing is always there as your little best friend that will help you feel safe in your body. I think that's ultimately what we want to achieve, isn't it? When we're out in public on our own, we just want to feel safe in our body. We just want to feel enough and we want to feel confident. We just want to be like kids again, don't we, really? We just want to, run around and watch the clouds and sing randomly if we feel like singing, and not worry about what others are thinking. On this YouTube channel, I do sometimes reflect back on all the stuff that I'm thinking about and saying, and I think I'm often actually advising us to become more like children in how we perceive ourselves and others. And I just think kids have got it right. Kids are just very focused on their needs and on being very present and playing and not taking things too seriously. That's another thing I want to say. I know these are all quite short, simplified statements, but sometimes short, simplified statements are digestible and they're helpful. I find that anyway. So don't take things too seriously. Put your phone away. When you're out in public alone, you don't want to go on your phone because you might as well just be at home then, because you're not aware of your environment, you're not taking in the elements, you're not seeing the beauty that is Mother Nature, and then consequently you're not feeling the calming effects, you're not broadening your horizons, you're not seeing life outside your own because you're just glued to your phone. So I know it's scary and we can use our phones as kind of crutches to basically help us escape our feelings of anxiety and embarrassment, but I do think dealing with things head on can help future us. In the moment it might be hard and uncomfortable, but if we deal with things head on, then we can process things and we can think about things and then we can cope with them and then we can thrive and then we can move past the issue. But we can only do that if we realise the issue is going on, and if we're on our phones, we are distracted. So yeah, put that phone away, put it in your bag. I'm not telling you to leave it at home, you can if you want to. I like to have it on me for kind of safety reasons, but put it in your bag and only bring it out if you want to maybe put a podcast on or reply to your mum, but be very intentional with how you use your phone. Don't just grab it out when you feel uncomfortable or when you're a little bit bored. Embrace boredom too when you're out alone, because being bored is important, it's essential. Again, like kids, when you're a kid, you were bored all the time. I genuinely think that's good for our nervous system. We don't always want to be busy thinking things, doing things. Boredom is healthy. But anyway, put that phone away, put it in your tote bag. Maybe you'll feel a bit uncomfortable, embrace the discomfort, acknowledge that it's there, don't try to fight it, and then slowly but surely you will prove to yourself that you don't need your phone. Okay, I'm going to read this out to you because I find this really interesting. A study found heavier technology usage is tied to greater risk for anxiety and depression, particularly among those using the devices as a security blanket, a way to avoid dealing with unpleasant experiences or feelings. Phones make it easier than ever to disconnect from the problems and stresses of reality by avoiding active engagement with them. So what that's basically saying is we use our phones to avoid our feelings, our negative feelings. Instead of processing them, talking about them, feeling them, we avoid them. We go on our phones and we completely forget that we are actually deep down feeling quite bad. So that means that fear, that anxiety kind of lives within us. And this is something that I think I do. I think I distract myself all the time, a bit like anyone of my generation. It's very easy to when you've got an iPhone. So at the moment, I'm really working on this myself, on feeling my feelings and crying when I need to cry. I actually think a weekly cry is amazing, a daily cry. Crying is so normal. I remember feeling proud when I was younger that I hadn't cried for like a couple of months. So toxic. I just think we should cry often and it should not be seen as this big thing. This other person has said, his name's O'Neill. I'll link everything, by the way, in the description from my research. In many cases, if you feel like you can't be without your phone, that could be a sign that it's serving as an escape type function for you. And for me, the whole point of going out is to kind of get out into the real world and step out of that kind of fake reality that I'm consuming on my phone. So it's kind of ironic that, sometimes I will still to this day be on a walk and I'll go on my phone and go on Instagram and I'll be like, the whole point of getting out is to escape the fake world and be in the real world and be present. But I'm here in the real world, surrounded by the most beautiful landscape, and I'm on my phone. What am I doing? Okay, I'm really excited about my next thing. This is something that I've actually noticed a lot of people struggle to do, because I think this really involves you putting yourself out there. But this for me is the best part of the video, because this is the thing that has helped me the most. I feel best when I'm doing this, and that is when I'm being kind to others, when I'm reaching out and doing a kind gesture to a stranger. I have actually spoken about this briefly on another video that's around a similar topic, so definitely go and watch that. It's Be Right Up Your Street. I'll link it at the end or here. Kind gestures, kind acts will help you feel better when you're going out alone. It will help you have a really positive feeling attached to going out alone. You want to attach a positive feeling to this experience so you're then inclined to do it again. So how can you feel good about your outing? Well, you can do a good thing. As Joey from Friends says, there is no such thing as a selfish good deed. Good deeds make you feel good about yourself. They spread positivity throughout your body. I really believe that, and I really feel that every time I do something nice. And it doesn't even need to be a big grand gesture. It can be something so simple, and I actually have a list. You can smile at people that walk past you. I like to make a point at smiling at women particularly, just because if I smile at some men, I will get a bit of a creepy response back. So I really suss out the situation there. But I like to smile at pretty much every woman that gives me the time of day and that looks kind of in my direction. Even if a woman like kind of looks up for a second, I don't hesitate, I smile instantly, and you'll be surprised. I would say 90% of the time, I get a smile back. You have to be the first one to put that smile out there. I do believe that, because a lot of us are awkward, but we all want love, so give out love. It'll make you feel really warm and happy in your body. It's already making me feel warm and happy just thinking about it. I haven't gone on my walk yet today, but I can't wait to give lots of people my smiles. If you're walking through a park, smile at the people that pass you. Maybe even say hi. I know it's crazy, but you can do that. I do that all the time, especially if I'm in a more quiet area, because if I'm saying hi to everyone that passes me, it could get a bit exhausting. Same with like smiling at everyone, but every now and then it's good to say, hi. Let someone go first through a door or on a narrow path. Stop and say, no, after you. Pick up rubbish if you see it on the street, just pick it up, put it in the bin. Someone might give you a little smile and be like, you're a good person. If no one even sees it, you will still feel good. You'll feel good about yourself. Now this one you might find really uncomfortable, but I promise you the more you do it, the easier it will get, because people just never respond badly to this. Compliment people. If you're ordering a coffee at a coffee shop, oh, I like your earrings, to the waitress. Or if you're sat near someone in a park and it feels right, say, oh, I love your outfit. Or, ask them how they're doing. Maybe talk about the weather. Us Brits love to do that, and I'm all for it if it means having a nice connection with a stranger. Ask people the name of their dogs. Just reach out that olive branch. I've got another quote for you. Acts of kindness may help to counter negative social interactions by promoting more positive perceptions and expectations of a person's social environment. Being kind can help reduce your social anxiety and make you feel more excited about actually going out. Acts of kindness make you feel good about yourself, and they also help you connect with people, with strangers. So obviously this is going to have a massive positive impact on your experience. If you're going out on a walk and you're being kind and you're speaking to people and you're smiling at people and you're feeling good about yourself, it's quite actually obvious when you think about it that it's going to really shape your experience to be quite a positive one. I know it can feel really awkward and weird to extend your energy to a random stranger and to engage with a stranger, but I promise you, you will not feel weird once you've done it, because you'll be just feeling overwhelmingly happy and warm, because people will respond well to it. I'm just quickly going to talk about not feeling safe as a woman. That's something that I feel every time I leave the house, and it's something that I worry about. I also think I am particularly anxious about my safety. I can be quite paranoid, but also that's so understandable because we live in quite a scary world. I don't want to put these things in your head, these negative things in your head, because I'm trying to encourage you to go out. But I also want to be like, I get it. If you're a woman, if you're queer, if you're trans, I completely get why you're scared to go out alone in public. I completely get it. And it's not for you to kind of adjust yourself to make yourself safe. It's something that's, you can't necessarily do. It's, you can't change culture. We live in a very sexist, homophobic world, and I hate that we are trying to give people tips on how to make themselves feel safe as opposed to the government changing things so we are safe. I hate that. But I want to share two things with you that make me feel a bit safer. I don't want to encourage people to be really hyper vigilant on what they wear or anything like that. So the only two things I'm just going to say that make me feel more safe, and for me it's just worth doing, even though it's a bit more of a faff. It's worth doing for me so I can kind of switch off a bit more, because that's ultimately what we want to do when we're on a walk, isn't it? We just want to be present and listen to nice music or listen to the birds and not be like, that man's behind me. So yeah, what I do is I have several people on Find My Friends, and I will alert someone that I'm going on a walk, and I kind of want them to be aware, or I'll just tell them whereabouts I'm going. And having someone that I trust and who cares for me know where I am and have access to my location fills me with reassurance for obvious reasons. And the other thing that I like to do is bring a umbrella around with me. I hold it sometimes in my hand when I'm feeling particularly nervous, and it's a pop-out umbrella, so it goes if I press a button. So also for obvious reasons, I like that. That makes me feel safer. Please like, share, subscribe and comment. I really hope that you get to go out on your own and have a nice time. I've done so many other videos on this that I'm going to link at the end of this video, so you'll watch any of them. They have all been met with a lot of positive feedback, and I've learned so much from you talking to me in the comment section. So thank you for that. It's just made me realise that we're not alone. Like, we all struggle with just social anxiety and fear of judgment. We're really not alone. We're all scared of being judged by others, but we're all just focused on our own fear, which basically means we're all just scared for ourselves, and we're not looking at others or judging others. We're just worried about being judged. So hopefully that comforts you too. We're all too busy to judge others because we're all too worried about ourselves. Okay, I'm gonna go.